I am reading exactly as it is written, word for word, just as the author intended. He meticulously titled this particular story, The Terrifying House. Then with a sense of foreboding, he writes, "There are indeed some truly terrifying and profoundly unsettling incidents in our lives that possess the power to deeply frighten and even traumatize anyone who experiences them." I vividly recall hearing about just such a terrifying and chilling incident from a distant uncle of mine, a relative I hadn't seen in quite some time. My uncle, as it turned out, had been an expatriate living and working in America for many years. After finally coming back to his home country, he made the journey to visit our house, a visit that was long overdue. During a warm and lively family gathering, surrounded by relatives, my uncle, almost casually, brought up the intriguing and somewhat mysterious topic of this particular incident. Later, when we, his eager listeners, insisted with great curiosity and persistence that he tell the full and complete story, my uncle, after a moment of contemplation, began to speak, his voice taking on a more serious tone. So, let's now get to the heart of the story, precisely as my uncle recounted it in his own words. This happened approximately 15 years ago, a significant period of time. At that specific time in my life, I had just recently moved to America and knew an unfamiliar land. I was working diligently as a waiter at a bustling restaurant there, trying to make ends meet. The owner of the house where I was currently staying, a place I had called home for a short while, suddenly informed me one day, quite unexpectedly, that he was going to demolish the entire house, tearing it down completely. This news, of course, necessitated an immediate search for new accommodation. So, along with my two companions who were also living with me in that house, we promptly started looking for a new place to stay, a suitable and affordable residence. After a considerable search, we eventually found a very old, somewhat dilapidated, yet intriguing two-story house located in a rather secluded and quiet area of Boston, America, a city known for its history and charm, and it was there that we decided to live. No permission whatsoever, and various unsettling noises might naturally and unexpectedly occur. Please do not pay any attention to those sounds. I will be back very soon indeed. Saying this, with a sense of urgency, the caretaker hurriedly and quite abruptly left the premises. Still feeling a profound sense of suspicion, we reluctantly started staying at the house with that lingering suspicion firmly embedded in our minds. The very first day, surprisingly, went remarkably well and without incident. However, the truly disturbing incidents began on the second day, precisely at 3 a.m. I was suddenly and violently jolted wide awake by a piercing, blood-curdling scream that echoed through the stillness of the night. Waking up so abruptly and unexpectedly sent a profound shiver of dread through my entire body. I desperately tried to figure out what the source of that terrifying sound could possibly be. With growing horror, I realized it was the anguished, heart-wrenching scream of a woman in extreme, unbearable pain. I immediately got up from my bed to look for the precise source of the sound. And just as I was about to step out of my bed, I vividly remembered what the caretaker had explicitly said. He had sternly warned us not to pay any attention to any kind of strange or unusual noise. After thinking it over for a considerable while, I cautiously decided to look into the matter more thoroughly in the morning light. The very next morning, despite a lot of diligent and exhaustive searching, I couldn't find out anything at all about it. On the third night, I heard the exact same chilling sound again. But after the woman's desperate voice, I distinctly heard a man's voice screaming, "Help! Help!" with an undeniable sense of terror. I got a bit scared, indeed, quite terrified. So I forced myself to sleep quietly and motionlessly. The very next morning, one of my companions was mysteriously missing. After a lot of frantic and desperate searching, Hearing all this, it felt as if the entire sky had completely collapsed and fallen upon my head, crushing me with its immense weight. Later, the local police authorities sealed off the house thoroughly and then departed, instructing us very strictly not to leave the city limits until my companion had fully recovered from his ordeal. After a period of approximately a month and a half, my companion's condition became somewhat better, showing signs of gradual improvement. Then, the police officers returned to hear the full and complete story directly from him. He began to recount to us in vivid detail what exactly had happened to him on that fateful night. That particular night, He too had distinctly heard the eerie wailing sounds and had consequently left his room to meticulously search for the precise source of the unsettling sound, soon realizing with a growing sense of dread that it was emanating from the upper floor of the house. As he cautiously approached the creaking stairs leading upwards, he heard someone groan weakly and then utter, "Please, get up and give me some water." As he moved a little closer, an unseen force suddenly took hold of him with immense power, and he violently broke through the old wooden barricade that was situated in the middle of the stairs. Going a bit further up, he distinctly heard more groaning coming from one of the dimly lit rooms. As he finally reached the front of that particular room, a truly foul and putrid stench immediately hit his nose with overwhelming intensity. Moving a little closer, he was horrified to see a dying woman lying there. Her entire body was in the same grotesque state, flesh rotting and visibly melting off her bones, and the woman, upon seeing him, weakly asked for a little water. Seeing this horrifying sight, he instantly turned and ran away in sheer terror and utter panic. At that precise moment, the woman suddenly appeared right in front of him, as if by magic, and he,